What's up, guys, and welcome back for another Fallout 76 video. In this one, I'm going to be covering food, our buffs for XP, and then using those with West-Tek to actually farm XP. Now, this strategy is mainly used to farm the repeatable challenge for S.C.O.R.E right here. So we're basically just going to be trying to get this repeatable thing done as much as possible to rank up and everything. I would say with this strategy, I do about 5 actual player levels every few hours or so, which will illustrate at the end of this video. I'll actually show the West-Tek run, kind of the route I take and everything. The majority of this video is going to be talking about the food or the buffs that I use to actually stack really high XP. I use the herbivore mutation, so let's go ahead and go down here to my mutations. So herbivore eats veggies but not meat with no disease and 2x benefit. So the food that we're using is going to get a 2x bonus because we have herbivore. If you have carnivore, then the strategy is a little bit different, but I'm using a bloody crit commando, so herbivore works a lot better for this. So if you don't have herbivore mutation, then you're just going to get 10% on one of the food. You're going to get like 10% XP instead of like 20. So if you see that your numbers are different than mine, it might be because you don't have that mutation. So we're really only using 2 food buffs here. We're going to go down to plants here. We're going to be using brain bombs. This is the first one. So this is going to use, you're going to have brain fungus, mothman eggs, purified water, and then sugar bombs. You can't use sugar bombs that come out of the workshop. You have to get rad infested sugar bombs, and I'll show you the 3 locations that I kind of frequent to pick those up. I usually don't over make these. This food will give me 6 intellect. The more intellect you have, the higher your XP will be. So this is the first food that we're going to be kind of going over. And then down here, we want to be making cranberry relish here. Now, this gives us 20% XP boost. If you don't have herbivore, it's only 10%. So this is going to be using boiled water, cranberries, gourd, and sugar as well. So let's talk about what we can actually do in our camp as far as farming and everything. And then we'll go ahead and start building our farming for some sugar and stuff. So out here on my farm, my camp, I actually grow gourds. You can find these all around and everything. So usually I go to Lewis and Sons. So let me bring up my map here after I grab these. So if you don't have gourds in your camp, then what you can do is you can go here to Lewis and Sons farming supply and go into the greenhouse. There's a gourd there. You'll want to use green thumb when you pick that up. You can also go here to Hornwright Summer Villa. In the back there's another greenhouse where you can get another gourd as well. With green thumb, you'll get those. You get 2 each, so you'll have 4. Then you can plant 4, and then you can plant those, and then kind of scale it up as well. If you have Settler Rep maxed out, then we have Turbovert as well. This is a grenade that basically instantly regrows your crops. So like right here, we've got all these gourds actually already farmed. So if we throw this Turbovert here, we can then do it again. But I wouldn't go grinding Settler Rep just for the Turbovert grenade. It's nice to have when you have it, but it's also just probably more beneficial to wait on this. So gourd, check. And then purified water, you can just make at your camp as well with water purifiers, and that's what these are. These are basically set up for like selling to for calves, but also goes into making like stim pack or diluted medical stuff, but also for making this stuff as well. Now for sugar, we're going to need reeds. So what I normally do is I follow this western riverside bed all the way down pretty much to Nuka-Cola and look for reeds there. That's usually one run is pretty decent. I get a pretty decent amount. But we need to talk about perks that you're going to be needing to help you get the more bang for your buck. The first being good with salt. If you plan on making a lot of this food and you don't want it to spoil very fast, having this makes your food spoil 90% slower. But when you're out getting brain fungus or cranberries or anything that green thumb will help, you definitely want to have it on. So reeds, brain fungus, cranberries, all that stuff, have green thumb on. You'll get twice as much. You can stockpile that stuff a little bit easier. The other thing we want is when we start making the food, actually making the food, we want super duper. This gives us a 30% chance to get double results when we craft anything. So we're spending a lot of time farming this stuff to make these XP boost foods, and so if we have the chance of getting 2 for 1, that's great. Go and talk about the recipes for these things, the brain bombs and the cranberry relish. What you're going to be wanting to do is a server hop and checking a vendor at the White Springs Mall. So if we go over here to the White Springs North entrance and go to the White Springs Mall, I'm going to show you where the vendor is, and basically what you're going to do is just check this vendor over and over and just keep relogging servers until you find them. You can get brain bomb recipe and the cranberry relish. So you're coming down the hallway here to the pink walled area. So you're going to go up in here. So you see we have brain bombs. Cranberry relish is a little bit rare, so, but there it is right there. So you can come in here and get your cranberry relish and brain bombs from this person. If they don't have it, just keep resetting your server until you get it. We're gonna hit sugar first and kind of show you the situation and what to look for. So it's pretty simple. I just kind of run down this coast here. Hopefully we don't have to go too far. I can already see some right here, and this is what you're looking for right here. This stuff, snaptail reed. You don't need a whole lot of them. Every time we get one, we're getting 2. And like I said, most of this food I don't over make. I basically, if I'm deciding to do like a few runs in an evening, I'll go and make a couple of relishes and brain bombs, and then be good to go. That way I'm not wasting time farming this stuff for it to just kind of spoil and everything. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and go in here and we'll make that sugar, since we already have. Or you want to make sure every time you get to that crafting table, make sure you put super duper on. It's very, very important, to try to get more for your materials. Hit Q here, go down here to sugar right here. So all it takes is the reeds and wood, and we have super duper on. We'll make 6, and there you go. So we should have enough. We got actually proc right there too. So let's go over here and look and see what we got. We got 10 sugar, which is good. Normally what I do with the sugar is once I make it, I'll just throw it in my my stash here. Mothman eggs and brain fungus. We're gonna go hit those. Mothman eggs are pretty simple. Point Pleasant up here. We're gonna go up there. So here's what Mothman eggs look like. We're just gonna kind of run around this table. This is my first little stop. But there's also a better location here too, kind of in the center of town. But just kind of grab whatever you can there. And then we're just going to go deeper up here to where this statue is. Grab as much as we can here. Which after you get that little like awning down there by the water, and then this, it's pretty much all you need. You can find brain fungus in the trenches of Cranberry Bog, or you can go up to this cave here and go in here and grab some. So what we're going to do is we're actually go to the cave, because I find it's a little bit faster and a little bit easier, because we have a dedicated location and we go for cranberries, which you'll see. Now you do kind of need a little bit of damage with the area for cranberries. You can potentially get a Mirelurk Queen spawn, so just make sure you don't kind of gut your damage too much with utility stuff before heading into that. Now we still want green thumb on here, and we're going to be looking for these in this cave, just on the ceilings, on the walls, and you can go through. You can get like 100 of these brain funguses in here, and this is you can go through like 10 minutes and get 100 of those. Now for cranberries themselves, we're going to go to Sunrise Field here. This is the one where you can potentially have a Mirelurk Queen spawn. So since I'm running Blade Crit Commando Sneak, I can kind of just zone in and then sneak and then just kind of clear the area, and then I can quickly tell if I'm going to get that spawn. If I get it, I'll kill the queen and then go on with the farming. But you definitely want to get everything, and like that's the benefit of having like a jetpack and marsupial here. You can get on top of these buildings and just kind of get a good vantage point and take care of everything. There's also NPCs over here, human enemies over here that you want to clear as well, because we're going to be running all down through here. So, and we're going to be focusing on the plants, so we want to make sure there's nothing out here attacking us. She normally spawns right over here, so I usually just make it like I'll do a run across just to make sure that there's no spawn. Sometimes it spawns after you killed this Mirelurk here. Other times it can be a little bit delayed. Now this is where like the cranberries are, so what we're going to end up doing is you're just going to run through here and look for cranberries like that and just grab them and get as many as you can. Pretty much every time when I'm building these, I'm going to be doing a lot of server hopping, so I come through here and I just kind of grab everything with green thumb and stockpile quite a bit. Now the most annoying part about all of this, the most annoying thing to farm, there's a cranberry, is going to be the sugar bombs. But luckily we don't have to worry too much about it's just for the brain bombs for the most part. So 3 locations for radiated sugar bombs, and I do this on server hop, so I'll go on the server and I'll go to these 3 locations, and they kind of repeat. The first one we're going to go to is Moss Town up here, and once we load in, we're going to be going towards a building with a bathtub. That's what we're looking for. So once we load in here, and usually when I hit all 3 locations, I usually get at least 3 to make at least 1 batch of brain bombs, and then I'm able to kind of do my run. And but if I'm on board, or if I'm in between like public events or something, I'll come out and check these locations as well, because these sugar bombs won't spoil, so they're good to go. So they're normally around here, up to 5 right here, but as you can see, none right there, so we're good. We can close that one off. The next location is over here in Morgantown. We're going to go to Fraternity Row. And this house we're going to here is actually really decent as well. It has a ton of stuff to loot as well. That's the other thing too, is like if you're having problems finding stuff like world spawn items, you can just kind of force respawn by like picking up 250 items. Which you can go to like the carnivals and, you know, the houses and stuff like that, and just blanket pick up a bunch of stuff to force respawns. But hopefully we'll find at least 3 here, so we can I can build it, make a batch for the video here. Although I still have brain bombs on me from when I made them last night. So we're gonna go up the road here after we load in, clear out the ne'er-do-wells. We're going to go up here to this house right here with the blue door. This house has a lot of stuff in it, which is a nice little farming spot just for like a general purpose junk. Alright, once we load in, we're going to go upstairs to the kitchen. I'll show you where the potential spots are. Yeah, we didn't get one in here either. Crazy. But what we can get in here is sugar. There's not any at all. But normally there's a sugar bomb here, and then there's also one on top of the fridge, and there's usually a sugar here and then a sugar up there, but didn't get lucky on that one. The last spot we're going to check is in Flatwoods, so we're going to zone in here. We're going to be going to the Flatwoods steeple, and there's like 1 to 3 potential spawns there as well. I think I've only ever found like 1 sugar bomb in that location, so we'll see how it goes. It would be nice if you could use, you know, clean sugar bombs for this, but that would make this kind of trivial, because you could just grab the workshop and farm that stuff. I think like 68 or 70 of those clean versions. And since I have marsupial and jetpack, this is like just a quicker way for me to get up here to the steeple. There we go, sugar bomb right there. Yay, we found one. So we need right here, we've covered heavy water, mothman eggs, brain fungus, obviously need wood, and then sugar bombs. Now we can already make cranberry relish, so sugar, gourd, cranberries, and boiled water. Boiled water you can get from the water boiler, or you grab dirty water with wood and make it boiled. Get the cranberries, get gourds from your camp, and then sugar from reeds and stuff like that. So let's go and make some relish. We're going to make 2. The way that XP works is like the higher intellect is, the more XP you get. So you want to try as far as like specials, perks, to get as much int as possible. I only run with 13 because I just prefer the other utility pieces for this build, but between just putting, you know, 15 intelligence here, and or the legendary intelligence. I would say it's more important to actually get the legendary intelligence perk at 4, and then you can have this at like 11 or so. That will increase your XP per hour as well. The reason why Bloody Crit Commando is also very good with XP farming is because of the unyielding set. So we'll go to my armor here. Now I'm running all unyielding. What unyielding is the lower my life, I get plus $3 specials except for endurance. So I'm usually running with like 10 to 20% health. So what that means in stats is my intelligence is at like 33 right now. And then with brain bombs it would be 39. I'm usually running West-Tek with like 40 to 46 intelligence, which helps. But I prefer damage over experience because of just application and just saving ammo and stuff. So when we're actually setting up for the run itself, we want to just make sure that we have all of our appropriate perks on, and all of our farming perks are off and everything. Alright, let's go and get set up for the West-Tek run, and I'll show you exactly what the situation is. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have well rested. So go to your camp, tent or whatever, lay down, make sure you get that XP bonus from actually being well rested. Now, like I said, we're going to be using brain bombs for 6 intelligence, and then also cranberry relish for 10% XP boost. If you have herbivore, it'll be 20%, and then we're going to be using 4 lunch boxes. Each lunchbox you open will give you 25% XP, and they stack up to 100%. So we want to open 4, which will give us 100% XP, and we'll be good to go. So we got well rested there. Make sure you want to make sure that your weapon and everything is all repaired. You have ammo. You got, don't really worry about too much about carry weight. There are benches inside West-Tek to kind of like salvage things kind of as you go. But we also want to just check our stats here. So we got well rested, 5%. And so I have these lunch boxes, the brain bombs, and the cranberry relish on my my wheel here. So basically just hit 7 4 times, and then 8 and 9 when I'm ready to go. So let's go and open a lunchbox. I'm just going to illustrate this too while we're going. So the first lunchbox we opened was very well rested, so it's 25%. So if we go again, we're trying to illustrate that this stacks. So now we're at 50, and then we're just going to go and do it 2 more times for 100%. And then all I gotta do is just use 1 relish and then 1 brain bombs, and we'll be good to go. And then we're gonna go in here and make sure that we got them on. So we got 1.5 hours on brain bombs, we got 59 minutes on cranberry relish, and then we got 1 hour on well rested. And then we can also go to special. So I'm running with 39 intelligence here. With that being said, let's go ahead and get with the West-Tek run. Now, I usually, this is going to be more of like a showing the process of how I run West-Tek. I'm not going to sit here and run for the entire duration of the boost, but it's more or less just to kind of show you the route and how I kind of facilitate all this. So first it's about just clearing everything, and what's important to note is we're going to track this I'm going to track this challenge, this repeatable challenge that we've got here, so you can kind of get a better idea of our experience that we're getting. I don't try to get in a hurry, even though we're on like kind of a time limit. So as you see, we're getting about 600 or so, 600 to 800. But you're going to be killing stuff so fast that we already got that repeatable done once. I usually get, like I said, for 1 hour of running like this, I usually get 1 rank. And I usually just go in there and loot everything in vicinity. So on mobs and stuff, I'll just hit R and then hit R again and spacebar. It's easier just to pick up everything and keep moving. Now, normally if I'm feeling lazy, I'll do West Wing first, but I think it's better to probably just run in reverse here. So we're gonna go through this door here. Go in here, this guy standing there, and I can just immediately turn around. I don't have to immediately loot everything because I can loot proximity, and then grab these 2 guys, and just keep an eye of where you're at, kind of, and then that guy right there, and then inside the bathroom, Guy here. And there's usually a guy standing there, but he's moved over. So here we're going to grab nearby, which grabbed everything we just killed. And that just kind of popped down here. There's a hound here, and then this guy here. And we're going to go and loot these guys because we're not going to be coming anywhere close to those guys for a minute. And then we're going to go back up here through these double doors into this area. Got a hound. There's usually 2 hounds on the floor here. Got a super mutant up there. And there's usually a super mutant down here. Here's where marsupial comes into play, because I can stand right here. I can jump right up to the 2nd floor here. Make sure you're reloaded. Also just kind of check the area. Open this door. There's a guy here. And there's a guy here. And I'll go ahead and usually loot this guy. You just want to make sure you're kind of clearing everybody here. And then if you go into here, there's 2 hounds there. And then the last little area up here is the champion. Let's go and loot this guy. We're already over encumbered, but it doesn't matter because we have Tinker and chemistry stations all over West-Tek. And also I have like 1,000 plus purified water on me because I went crazy with farming that stuff. Once that guy's dead there, if you don't have the key to the west wing, here, I'm going to actually address this real quick. In order to get the full run, you have to also have access to the west wing over there. So if you don't have that key, you need to go to this control terminal. And then you go to remote door control and open the door. This is going to open that door right there. If you go in there, the keys for the west, or the access code for the west wing is in there. And you'll be able to access the other half, the better half of this run. With that being said, we're going to go down to the 1st floor again, go through this door. Take this guy. Do I have bloody mess on? Yes, it just didn't proc there. And then this area could be a little bit tedious because it's multi-leveled, so you want to make sure you don't get they don't run up in behind you. I usually just kind of clear those 3 guys, and then I'll usually just jump down here, do a quick loot. There's also 2 hounds in this area as well. They pretty much patrol. And I'm using VATS headshots because it's just... and this other thing too is I never run out of ammo. I'm using a fixer with 45. So if I take 2 shots to kill a super mutant, but then he drops 9 45 rounds, then I essentially am ammo farming at the same time as XP farming here. And the way to kind of capitalize on that is actually just having really high damage application. Now for the west access terminal, we need to go in here, open the door, then I immediately go back into stealth mode. We got this little hound here. These guys kind of move around on their own, but we have one dude right here. He'll patrol from this side over to this side, and then I usually come over here. There's 2 guys in this room, and if I can see the dudes up here, I'll grab them, but I know he's back there in that corner, so I can use marsupial and jump up. There's usually a hound and 2 super mutants here. That was one. There's the other one. Go and do a loot there. Come out here. Like, some of these guys move around quite a bit. If they're not moving around, there's usually a hound and a super mutant in this room as well, but they came out here and were messing around. And the other thing I'm going to show you is you don't have to actually like go out of West-Tek and come back in to kind of reset everything. We're going to use the elevator to the 2nd floor to kind of reset that. So now you're just going to, you also check this window over here. Sometimes they're standing in there. And then there's usually 3 guys over here. One here. Usually a guy standing in that room, but I think that was this dude here. And see, as we're doing this, we continue getting those repeatables done, which is the kind of the point here. So that's technically the full run of everything on the main floor. Then we go up here to the forced evolutionary virus production, and we want to make sure we're reloaded here because this area is a little bugged. So most of the super mutants in this area are going to be all at the door of the elevator. You want high damage. I'm going to take these guys down. Try to go for the suicider first because he will blow you up and there's nowhere for you to run. There we go. Now, obviously, you know, you can. I've seen people stack, get, you know, anywhere between anywhere up to like 2200 XP per super mutant kill. That's if you're leaning really far into every single buff, and getting all of the intelligence and stuff that you possibly can. For me, I think that my setup here is pretty decent. Usually allows me to get at least a rank or so every hour or so when I'm dedicated running this. I usually run all the way down in this production area just because it gives the lower area more time to run. Once you complete the quest, you actually won't be able to go into this area here. So once we get to this room, we're going to turn around. We're going to head right back. And then when we come down the elevator again, everything in West-Tek should be up again. So we'll be able to do the entire run again. And then you just run through the entire area. Also, if you run all the way through, these guys will spawn up in this corner again. So make sure you remember that. Don't want to run into a trap there. Go and reload. Once we reload, we're going to go back downstairs. And that essentially completes one run of West-Tek. You would just keep chaining this together. As you can see, now we came down again, and everything is respawned. So we got one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. Do we get him? Yeah, we got him. Reload. And then I can also usually come over here and grab these guys if they come get curious. You're probably going to be over encumbered. There are several chemistry workstations kind of scattered about. I usually hit the chemistry workstation. There's also a Tinker's workbench in the other area. So I usually just come in here and just scrap everything as I go. And also, like I said, I'm usually only running with like 120 of like 366 carry weight, but I'm carrying like 1,000 purified water right now. But you're going to get a lot of steel. So the thing about West-Tek Run is it's not just if you're doing high damage, it's actually an ammo farm, it's an XP farm, and it's also you're just going to have a crazy amount of steel. So there's chemistry workstations all over. Just look for those in the areas. Let me show you real quick where the Tinker's workbench is. It's actually easier to get to it from this side. I would consider the main vat room is what I call it, the halfway point in the run. So I usually salvage when I get there as well. So that is, go and clear this guy. This is the vat room where the big vats of stuff are. There's Tinker workbench right here. Like I said, I usually do like just 5 normal player levels every few hours doing this, which is really great because I'm working my way towards level 500. So this is a great way to get that accomplished. But yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.